Hello learners, I am Sapna Shukla, former assistant professor, Amity School of Engineering and Technology, Amity University. Let's say I am a teacher and say I have to send an admission letter to newly enrolled students, and the letter should be customized for 1000 students. Doing it just using copy paste feature can be tiring and monotonous. We can use mail merge instead. Today in this video, we are going to understand how a feature of MS Word, the mail merge, works. So, today the learning objectives are to understand the use of mail merge, to learn the working of mail merge feature to create the following. So, we will be creating letters, we will be creating labels, we will be creating envelopes. All these letters, labels, envelopes we will be creating, which will be customized, let us say for 1000 people. So, before proceeding, let us understand what is mail merge. So, mail merge is a way of placing content from a spreadsheet, database or table into a Microsoft Word document. The Microsoft Word document can be a letter, label, envelope or anything. Now, why and when should this mail merge feature be used? It is there, but let us understand why and when should we use this feature. So, mail merge is ideal for creating personalized form letters or labels instead of editing the original letter several times to input different personalized information. As you can imagine, this can save a lot of time as well as worry about not changing all of the information for the new recipient. In order to create a mail merge, you require two documents, a Word document and a file with the data or records. This file can take many forms such as Excel spreadsheet, a database or even another Word document that has a table in it. Types of documents in the mail merge which are required are, so here you can see an arrow that I have indicated over here. So, the first document that I should have is a main document and I should have a data source, and using the main document and the data source, I will create the merge document that will be the output of the mail merge. So, what is a main document? So, main document is basically the personalized document such as a standard letter or envelope or mailing label. This is known as the main document. It is the document containing the text and graphics that stay the same for each version of the merge document. For example, I am writing a letter, let us say an admission letter I want to write. So, that admission letter will remain same for every enrolled student, but maybe the name, address, enrollment number etc. will keep on changing. So, that forms actually a form letter. Form letter, what is it? Form letter is simply a letter which is to be circulated to a group of people such as parents, and into which you place data specific to each individual in the group. So, a form letter is a personalized circular letter that is customized for each individual who receives it. Next, let us understand what is a data source, that is also required. So, what is a data source? Data source is a file that contains the names and addresses or any other information that vary with each version of a mail merge document. For example, a list of names and addresses for a form letter you want to send to a list of clients or other people. So, that forms a data source. So, data source can be in the form of a Word table, it can be in a form of an Excel sheet, okay, or it can be in a form of a database table, Access, MS Access, you can use that. Then the document that is produced is the mail merge document, the merge document. So, the merge document, so when you merge the main document with the data source, a third document called merge document will be produced. The merge document can be merged to the screen to view letters along with addresses or directly to the printer to print the letters along with addresses and print addresses on envelopes or labels, or you can save in some other format that can be used later for printing. Inserting the data or information from the data source in the main document creates the merge document. So, that is about basically the types of documents in mail merge. So, we are ready with let us say I have got a main document, I have an idea of the data source and I want to create a merge document. And as I told you that we want to basically create a customized letter, let's say for 1000 students. So how do we proceed? So let's see a demo for it. How do we create a letter, and how do we customize it? How do we link it with the data source? So here I have got a sample letter. This letter is basically an admission letter, as I was telling. Let's say I have got some 50 students, and 50 students are getting admitted, let's say, to a diploma course in information technology, and we are writing, that is, we welcome your award to National Institute of Open Schooling, the plain English that you've written a letter, I think. So you can write a letter. So the letter, this content of the letter will remain same for every person that I'm going to send this letter to. Sincerely, Director Admissions. What I want over here is, I want customization over here. I want to enter the parent's name over here, the address of the parent, and maybe your ward so and so, maybe his particular ward or her ward's name should be given over here in this location. So this letter I want to customize. So this becomes my main document. Let's say I don't have the data source ready now. I have an idea, maybe in a hard copy I've got the details, I don't have an Excel sheet. So how do we go about it? So the very easy way of doing it is a mail merge wizard. So let's do it with that. So in the main tab bar, you will have a mailings tab. Click on that, and you have an option over here, start mail merge. So click on that. You're getting many options: letters, email messages, envelopes, labels, directories. These are the things that you can create using mail merge. We are going to go to the last option, that is step by step mail merge wizard. So click on that. So once you click, it will show you steps. So that's basically a wizard which tells you, wizard is basically a process which is going to tell you the steps. Suppose you don't know exactly how things will work, you don't need to remember the steps. You just click on mail merge wizard. It's absolutely easy, and mostly people use it. So what over here, we get a dialog box wherein we have what type of document are you working on. So that's basically letters. So I'll say letters, and I'll click next, starting document. Over here, as I've got already, see, you can see three options: use the current document, you can use start from a template, start from existing document. So as I've got a document which has which is already open, so I can over here I'll click use the current document, but you can also use start from a template. That is, if let's say you don't have a letter drafted already, you can use a template to create a letter. And let's say the document is not open and you want to open an existing document, you can click that also. So over here my document is already open, so I'll say use the current document. And then the next, so my main document is ready. Now the next step is to select the recipients. To whom should this letter be sent? So here the next step is select recipients. I click on that. So once again I get three options over here: use an existing list. So this radio button shows me use an existing list. Let's say I've got an Excel sheet or a Word table which is already ready, so I can use that option. But right now I am assuming that the data is not ready. So what I'll do is I'll type a new list. So I'll say type a new list. Now I'll say I'll click on this particular button, create. Okay. So it shows you some fields already, which pre-existing fields are there. So it's showing you a title, first name, last name, company name, address line 1, and so on. So as this letter needs to be sent to students, so obviously let me customize this list. So what I can do is I can customize columns first. So before entering data, I am customizing the field of the data source. So let me say I require the title Mr. or Miss, I require the first name. So this first name, last name can be the parent's name. Let me say I want to add one more field. Let's say I want to add a student name. So I'm adding student name. So I'll say okay. So my student name is over here. I want this to be the top field. So, I can say move up. So, student name is the first field that I want. Then I have the title. Title is for the basically the parents. So, first name, last name of the parent, and then company name maybe I do not want. So, I can just delete that. So, I delete that particular field. I say okay. So, address line 1, maybe I require address line 1, but I do not want to elaborate it. So, I am not taking address line 2. So, I will say delete. Okay, I require maybe the city, okay, the state, okay, the zip code. Maybe I want to rename it. So, I will say that is my PIN code. Okay, country or region I do not want. So, I will say delete. Home phone I do not want. Right now I do not want these information. I will delete all this information. Maybe email address also I do not require in this letter. So, I will delete this. So, now we are ready with the field names that are required in the data source. So, student name, the title of the parents, first name of the parent, last name of the parent, address line 1, city to which he belongs, state to which he belongs, and PIN code. So, let us say okay. So, now we are ready with the fields of the data source. So, now I can just click on this, and using the tab button I can move on to different fields. I can use the mouse or the tab button. So, what I can do is, let us say I want to enter a name. So, let us say I enter Veer and maybe Mr. Dhruv Avasthi, and let us say the address line is Preet Vihar, and city is, let us say, Delhi, and the state also is Delhi, and let us say the PIN code is 100901. Okay. And let us say I want to have a new entry. So, I can put in one more new entry and I can create the data source. Let us say this time the name is Om, and let us say this time it is Miss Prerna Singh, and let us say this time the address is somewhere in Indirapuram, and the city is, let us say, Ghaziabad, and I put the state as UP, and the PIN code becomes somewhere like 2090014, or it should be 6 digit. So, okay, that is a 6 digit number. So, let us say I have got 2 entries. I can create one more entry. Let me say I will create one more entry and then we will stop, and then we will see mail merge. So, let us say this time I am creating one more name, okay, Parul, with the title. So, I should have a capital letter over here. So, I will just delete this and I will say P, capital P, and this time let us say it is Mr. Rohan Bajaj, and this time the address line is, let us say, sector 44, Noida, and the state is UP, and the PIN code is somewhere around 200980. Okay. So, this is how you are going to create, let us say you have got 1000 people you need to send the letter to. So, what you can do is you can create the list. This will be one time problem, but after creating this you can very well change your letter, or you can create customized labels using the same data source. So, it is a one time effort that you are going to put in, and then you say okay. You need to save this as well. So, let us say desktop, let us say in the lesson 5 MOOC, and I say I give it a name, let's say data source 1, and I save it. So, this is going to show me all the recipients, whatever we entered. That's I can deselect a particular recipient also if I do not want this recipient to get the letter, but let us say for the time being I want everybody to receive this letter. So, this after this clicking and selecting which all recipients need to get the letter, I click on OK. Okay. Then we go to the next option, that is write your letter. So, this is already a letter which is created. What I now want is that as I told you in the beginning, that I want the name of the parents to be displayed over here. So, let us say I want something like this, to whom should I this be given. So, I can click on address block over here, this option, and these are the various ways in which the address can be displayed. So, over here when it's already by default it has been selected. So, it's showing Mr. Dhruv Avasthi, Preet Vihar, Delhi. It's not showing the pin code. So, let me click on match fields, and let's say postal code is not matched. So, I'll say pin code and I'll say OK. So, here's the pin code that is matched. So, it's in this case it's showing Delhi, Delhi once again, OK, Ghaziabad 209, OK. So, let me say I want this address block to be displayed over here, and the next line is so the address block you have displayed over here, you have inserted basically a merge field over here, and the next one is a greeting line. Let us say you want a greeting also be to display, let us say dear Mr. so and so. Okay. So, let us say you want a greeting also be displayed. So, you can click on the greeting line and you can say dear Mr. Bajaj, or you can also change it to Mr. and Miss Bajaj. Okay. And I want to delete this space over here. So, I have deleted the space. Okay, congratulations, your ward. Now, over here you can see your ward, there is a space that I have given over here. What I want over here is I want the name of the child to be displayed over here. So, what I can do is I can go to more items. So, this is a specific field that I want to display. So, what I can do is I can go to more items and I can display the student name over here and I can insert this. So, I will select this option. So, the student name will be inserted over here. So, delete student name. So, your word. So, this particular merge field, instead of this the names will be replaced. So, is being admitted to diploma in information technology. If you want this address, it is your wish actually, if you want the address block to be inserted, you can do that as well. You can also go to more items to, let us say, customize whatever you want. Maybe you want the title to be there, you want only the last name to be there, you want only something like this. So, you can do that also. Instead of address block, you can click over here, you can you can add this, go to more items and you can add title, okay, insert, then you can add the first name, or maybe you just want the last name to be inserted, then you can insert, let us say, the address line 1, okay, and you want, let us say, only the state, and then maybe you want the pin code, okay, and maybe you can format this. So, Mr. and Miss, title, and let us say the state and the pin code and the greeting line. So, that option is also there. So, either you can go on for the address block if you want, or you can click on this option also. So, both the options are available to you. Okay. So, you can have title, last name. So, instead of this, what will happen is when we mail merge, the document that will be produced will be a customized letter. Okay. So, we are ready with the letter. So, the date to Mr. so and so. I will just delete the space also, and greeting line, Mr. so and so, congratulations, okay, your ward, and this is the letter that we are trying to customize. Okay. So, see, mail merge is giving you all the options. Now, next, so you have inserted the merge fields. Now, you are basically ready to preview your letters. So, before printing, maybe you would like to preview the letters, how does it look, right, before wasting a paper actually. So, being green, that is very important. So, here is the letter that can be seen over here, a sample letter. So, that is the first one. So, to Mr. Bajaj, sector 44, So, I am not getting a hyphen over here. So, what I can do is I can go to previous step and I can click a hyphen. Then I can say preview your letters. Now, this time to Mr. Bajaj, sector 44 UP, and the pin code is being displayed. Dear Mr. Bajaj, congratulations, see your ward Parul is being admitted to so and so. You can see the different letters over here. See, this is recipient number 2, this is recipient number 1. So, we had created 3 records in the data source file, and hence we are able to see 3 recipients, 3 letters. And then what you can do is you can say if you are satisfied with the preview, what you can do is next step is to complete the merge. So, once you do complete the merge, what you can do is you can straight away print the document, or what you can do is edit individual letters. So, I say edit individual letters, I want all the letters to be done, merge all the records. So, what I do is I say OK. So, over here I can see all the letters. So, this is my first letter that needs to be taken. Okay. I can very well go into each of the letters, and if I want some minor modification in a particular letter, so I can go to that letter also and modify it. This is the second letter that has been produced. This is the third letter that has been produced. See, this is the effect of mail merge. Okay. So, this was an example wherein we had created the data source records on our own. What we can do also is we can also use a pre-existing document, let us say an Excel file. Okay. So, if I have got an Excel file, let us say how do we do that. So, just I do not want to save this letter, so I will say no. So, let me open the letter once again. So, I have got the desktop. Okay. So, this is my letter. What I will do is once again I will go to mailings, start mail merge, step by step mail wizard, and this time letters. Okay, next use the current document. This is the current document that I want. Okay, select the recipients. This time what I want is I want an Excel file which has already been created to be used as a data source. So, how do we do that? What we can do is use an existing list. This time the radio button, use an existing list should be selected, and you browse it, go to the desktop, and what I have done is I have saved that particular Excel file in a, okay, this is my folder, and I have created an Excel file. This is my address students mail merge. So, in that I have got 3 sheets. So, the first sheet contains the data. So, okay. So, this shows the data which has been imported from an Excel file. So, I have got a surname, first name, title, address line 1, city, student name is also there, pin code is there. Okay. So, these are the different fields that are there already existing in the Excel file, and I can say okay. Then go to write your new letter, and what I can do is I can select more items. What I want over here to be displayed is, let us say I want once again to, whom should I send this letter to? So, I go to more items, and I will select, let us say first the title. Okay. So, I say insert, and I want the first name to be inserted this time. I want the surname also to be inserted, and I want the address line 1 to be inserted. I want the city to be inserted, and I want the pin code also to be inserted. Okay. So, what I can do is I can click on this and over here, and once again let me put a hyphen over here. Okay. And congratulations, once again over here I can go to more items, and I can select the student name over here, and I say insert. So, this time I am selecting, I click on close, and this time my letter once again is ready, but this time we are using the data source which was an Excel file. Okay. This is how you can mail merge. You can just see preview your letters. and see over here to Mansi Jasuja. Okay, there is not a space over here. What you can do is in your form letter itself you can put in a space over here. So in all the letters you will find there is no space, but you can obviously format it, right? So this is recipient 1, recipient 2, recipient 3 and so on. Okay, so this is how, let's say you've already an Excel file which your office assistant maybe has prepared and you want to mail merge. Okay, so you can do that. Those many number of recipients are there, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so this is how you are going to mail merge and create letters. Okay, the first method was without using a previous data source. So you can create the data source in the mail merger helper itself. And the next option was you already have an Excel file and you want to create the mail merge document. Okay, so that's one option. Let's say this time you want to create labels. So there are students and there is a convocation, and let's say you want to print each student's label, maybe the names you want to display. So the labels can be displayed on labels, and you can later on take out that labels and stick it on maybe the chairs, because in a convocation you want things to be in order. So maybe there is a group of chairs and you want every student to sit according to their names or maybe according to enrollment number. So you can do that as well. Let's say first I'll create a new document. Let me open a blank document. So I'll say create a blank document, and then I go to mailings, start mail merge, and you can go to the step-by-step mail merge wizard, or you can straight away go to labels as well. You can go to labels. We are learning through mail merge wizard. Envelopes I can show you without that. So let's go to labels first. Then what type of document are you working on? That's labels. So let's say click to we'll start with the document. So what I can do is I have an option to change the layout as well. So I can go to label options, and let's say I want 30 labels to be displayed per page, because labels also come in a pre-formatted hard copy. So according to the hard copy you need to set the label format as well. So let's suppose I am using this 30 per page label vendor Microsoft, and this is the size, height and width and page size and all that. Maybe this matches with the label that I am printing. So I'll say okay. So I'm not able to see the grid, so I'll say view grid line, and this is the label that is being shown over here. Okay, label options, let me select some other one. Okay, so this is the label which looks better to me. These are the labels which are commonly used in schools. Okay, so what I can do is next I need to select the recipients, that is data source basically. In each label what name do I want to display? The student name, what I'm going to do is, this label is going to have one student's name, the other student's name, other student's name. So let me say select recipients. I once again say browse desktop, because that's the folder I'm looking for, my folder, that is lesson 5 MOOC, and the data source that is there is okay, sheet 1, and I click on OK. That's the data source that I'm going to use. So I've got the data source. Now what I can do is I can arrange my labels. So what I can do is what exactly do I want to get, what I want to be displayed. So I can click on student name and I can say insert. So my student name is actually getting inserted in this, and I say close. Okay, then what I can do is I want the student name to be displayed in all the labels. So what I can do is I can just click on update all labels. So the student name is going to get displayed on the labels. I can preview my labels. So over here I can see these were the names of the students, Veer, Ayam, these were the name of the students. In a convocation I wanted these names to be displayed on the seat maybe, and you can format this in whatever manner you want. Maybe in the beginning itself I should have formatted it, but that's okay. This is how you can complete the merge, and you can save the document once again. Either you want to get this labels printed directly, or you can save that to edit them whenever you want, or whenever you want them to get printed. So this is how you can save the document. So this is the way you can create labels. Okay. So let's next go to how do we create envelopes. So, in the beginning what we did was we prepared letters, and now I want these letters to be dispatched to the parents. Okay. So, let us see how do we create envelopes. So, once again I go to new and I say blank document. So, my letters are ready. Let me show you how do we create envelopes which are customized. So, let us go to once again mailings tab, start mail merge. This time we will not use mail merge wizard, but let us use envelopes. We can use mail merge wizard as well, but let us use envelopes. So, we can go to envelopes, okay, and over here it shows you the options, which option, size 10 envelope you are using, this is the dimensions of that particular envelope, and similarly you can from the drop down box you can select whichever size you want. Let us say we are using the default one and we say okay. So, this is the envelope that will be used, okay, for printing purpose, and then we are going to say select the recipients. So, what I am going to do is select the next option will be, so my main document is ready. The next is to select the data source. So, the data source will be basically you can use an existing list. Using the existing list, what you have to do is go to desktop and once again I am going to search for my file, that is this one, the same way as we selected, and then what I can do is I can insert the address block. Maybe this is how I want the address block to be inserted. So, match fields, I want my postal code is not getting displayed. So, what I want is the postal code also should be displayed. So, let us say this is the way it will be displayed. Okay, I can format it, that you can do, and then we can say okay. So, this is the address block that will be displayed. You can very well preview this results as well. Okay, you can insert the merge fields if you want individually also. See over here, when I click on the button insert merge, the menu shows me these many options. What I can do is I can insert this as well, okay, the same way, and then I can preview my results. So, this is the first envelope that is being shown. I can click on this arrow button and see all the different envelopes that are being created. Now, if I am satisfied with the mail merge, okay, I am satisfied with the envelopes that are produced, maybe if you want to format it, okay, you can format them, and then if you are satisfied, what you can do is you can say finish and merge. So, once again there are options for print documents, or you want edit individual documents. As usual, let us edit it and then we will save it, okay, and let us see these are the envelopes that are being created, and you can save them for later use. So, this is how we have learnt how do we create envelopes, how do we create labels. So, the learning objectives for this particular video were: what and when should mail merge feature be used, procedure of mail merge feature for creating customized letters when the data source does not exist beforehand, the data source exists beforehand in form of an Excel file, and we also learned the procedure for mail merge to create customized labels. We also learned procedure of mail merge to create customized envelopes. I hope you had a informative session and you will surely try on this mail merge feature, because unless and until you practice, things will not be clear to you. You yourself should try it, and this is all from my side. Thank you so much.